Chapter 20. He spun away from me and started walking out of my room. He walked stiffly, not bending his knees, his shoulders teetering from side to side, like a zombie in a horror movie. Frozen in terror, I couldn't move. Clump, clump, clump. I listened to him thump down the stairs. A few seconds later, I heard the front door close behind him. He's really doing it. He's going to the graveyard to get the doll, I realized. I had to stop him. I bolted into the hall, then stopped. I realized I was in my nightshirt. I lurched back into my room, grabbed jeans and a sweatshirt, pulled on my sneakers, and hurried out of the house. It was a cool, clear night. Thin snakes of black cloud curled over a full moon. My shoes squished over the slippery grass as I ran to the street. It must have rained earlier. Puddles of silver moonlight glowed in the street. I saw Slappy clumping through the puddles. He swung his arms as he stormed up the low hill that led to the graveyard. He kept his back straight and tall, his head straight forward as he staggered up the middle of the road. The cool night air helped wake me up. I started to trot. I didn't want to catch up with him, but I didn't want to lose sight of him either. My heart thumped loudly. In the late night silence, nothing moved. No wind, no cars or voices. The house is all dark, as if Slappy and I were the only two creatures on Earth. Stepping over the silvery puddles, I followed Slappy to the little graveyard. I watched from the other side of the picket fence as he made his way quickly through the rows of crooked gravestones. He stopped at the spot where we buried the Mind Stealer doll and dropped to his knees. My breath caught in my throat. I watched him start to scoop up dirt. His wooden hands made good shovels. The dirt flew up in front of him. I knew I should leap over the fence, drop him, smother him, crush him, do anything to keep him from pulling up that dangerous doll. But my fear held me there against the fence. My legs felt trembly and weak, and I had to force myself to breathe as I watched the hole grow larger and larger under the dummy's shoveling hands. He giggled as he bent over the hole and pulled out the glass case. He whipped his head around once, making sure no one was watching. I ducked behind the fence and held my breath. Had he seen me? No. I raised myself high enough to watch him. He pulled himself quickly to his feet and began brushing dirt off the case with one hand. In the eerie silver moonlight, I could see the doll. I could see its shrunken human head bouncing against the glass bottom as Slappy cleaned the case. And then, Slappy set the case down gently on the ground and began to pull off the lid. I gripped the top of the fence so tightly my hands ached. And suddenly, I heard a voice in my head. My voice. If he gets that doll, he'll wipe your mind clean. And before I even realized what I was doing, I leaped over the fence and tore through the gravestones. I tackled Slappy around the waist. I shoved him hard away from the doll case. And with a burst of strength, I lifted the thrashing, kicking dummy high above my head.
"You're dead meat, slave!"
he screamed.
"You'll be punished for this!"
And then it was my turn to scream, as a powerful wave of white light blinded me and wrapped itself around me, trapping me in its beam.